Welcome to The Explainer. So, for years, the internet basically felt like a giant directory. You typed in a question, hit enter, and bam, the search engine handed you a list of 10 blue links. It was entirely up to you to go hunting through those websites to find exactly what you were looking for. But as we all know, search engines have fundamentally evolved. They aren't just an index of links acting as a traffic cop anymore. They've completely transformed into answer engines.
Which brings up a frankly terrifying thought. Imagine this for a second. What if nobody ever clicks on your website again? Seriously, let that sink in. If you're a digital marketer, an SEO pro, or just a business owner relying on web traffic, that idea probably spikes your blood pressure and validates a ton of the anxiety you've been feeling lately. The game we've all been playing for over a decade, it is shifting right beneath our feet.
And here is the reality check. 58.5%. Just pause on that for a second. That is a massive, landscape-shifting figure. According to some incredible independent research from SparkToro, 58.5% of U.S. Google searches now end without a single solitary click to the open web. The user just gets their answer right there on the results page, and they move on. 0 clicks, 0 site visits.
So how do we adapt? Well, let's dive into a 6-step playbook to take that zero-click panic and turn it into real, revenue-driving brand power. We're going to run through the death of the click, deconstruct the modern search page, and then look at clicks versus brand visibility. Then we'll get into the weeds on formatting for AI, building real topical authority, and finally, how to measure success beyond just raw clicks. Okay, let's jump right into step 1, the death of the click, and this massive shift from routing traffic to answering questions directly.
Listen, the era of 10 blue links is officially dead and gone. Why? Because search engines and AI platforms have a huge structural incentive to keep you on their own pages, where they can completely control the whole experience. And the data here is just staggering. Abandoned Companies surveys showed that roughly 80% of consumers now rely on zero-click results for at least 40% of their searches. SEMrush found that AI overviews were triggered in over 13% of tracked U.S. queries by March 2025. And check this out. ChatGPT saw a 44% traffic jump in a single month in late 2024. People are bypassing traditional search entirely and going straight to large language models for research and shopping recommendations.
Right, moving on to step 2. Let's look at the anatomy of zero-click and deconstruct what the modern results page actually looks like.
Because to win the game, you've got to understand the battlefield. Nowadays, a single search page can stack 5 or 6 different zero-click features. Think local map packs, knowledge panels, image carousels, all before you even have a chance to scroll down to an organic link. And this brings up a super crucial technical difference we face today: extraction versus synthesis. Extraction is what happens with featured snippets. The search engine pulls your exact text from a single source, and it usually gives you a clear, clickable link. It's quoting you exactly. Synthesis, on the other hand, is what AI overviews do. They read your site, read 5 of your competitors' sites, and then mash all that information up into a brand new conversational paragraph. Because it's rewriting everything, the attribution and the click-through rate is just way weaker.
And that perfectly sets up step 3. The battle of clicks versus brand visibility, and the strategic pivot you absolutely need to make right now.
Look, we have to fundamentally reframe the problem here. Zero-click isn't necessarily a bad thing for your business. It just changes where the value gets created in the customer journey. I love this quote. It really hits the nail on the head. The most useful diagnostic isn't, did clicks go down? It's, what was this query ever supposed to do for the business? I really want to reassure you on this point. Losing clicks on a simple, high-level informational blog post is not a crisis, especially if that specific post was never actually driving direct sales in the first place. Instead, your brand is now becoming the default trusted answer for thousands of searches before a purchase decision is even on the table.
When you think about it like this, it's a total light bulb moment. Treating every single keyword like it has the exact same job is just a massive waste of time and effort. If you're looking at a commercial or pricing query, yes, your primary goal is absolutely to earn that click. So sharpen your page intent. But if it's a definition or a how-to query, your goal is to earn visibility. You want to write concise, punchy answers so the AI simply has to extract and quote you. And if it's a local or near-me search, you're trying to drive offline action, like a phone call or someone walking into your store. For that, you pour your energy into strengthening your Google business profile.
Which naturally brings us to step 4, formatting for AI extraction. Basically, how do we write for the machine?
How exactly do you structure your content so an AI system looks at it and thinks, yes, this is the definitive source? Well, here are the highly tactical, mechanical steps you need to take to win those snippets and AI citations. Number 1, lead every major section with a 40 to 60 word direct answer. It turns out that's the absolute sweet spot these systems want to extract. Number 2, use question-based headings and pull those directly from actual search data. Number 3, use definitional openers. Literally write X is before adding any extra context. And number 4, structure the whole page for total scannability. Ditch the giant walls of text and use bulleted lists and comparison tables instead.
What's really fascinating here is just how unforgiving the machine can be. If you make a vague, fluffy claim, the AI will just skip right over you. You have to feed it concrete data, named sources, and precise hard figures. Also, try to write so that each section can stand completely on its own, out of context, because AI loves to cherry-pick a single paragraph. Don't forget your schema markup so crawlers know exactly how your page is organized without having to guess. Oh, and if you want to win voice search, keep your sentences short and focused on a single idea, so they sound totally natural when a voice assistant reads them out loud. All right, let's roll into step 5, building real topical authority, or putting EEAT into practice. We have to shift gears from just formatting to building actual trust. Because let's be honest, perfectly formatted content is completely useless if the AI engine doesn't see you as a legitimate authority in your niche. You've probably heard of EEAT, experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. While it is no longer just some abstract theory from Google, it is a strict, hard requirement for zero-click visibility. AI systems heavily favor sources that consistently demonstrate real, deep, interconnected expertise. They want to know you truly understand the whole topic inside and out, rather than just throwing up isolated keywords to grab some cheap traffic.
So how do we actually prove that trust? By publishing first-party data and original research that your competitors literally cannot reproduce. Use named experts who have real, verifiable credentials in the field. Build out deep, interconnected topic clusters instead of a bunch of random, isolated blog posts. And make sure your expertise is consistent everywhere, on your website, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, the whole shebang. But hey, a very quick word of warning here. Never, ever fabricate statistics or case studies to try and manufacture authority. Because the moment someone checks your sources, and believe me, they will, your trust with both the users and the AI engines is completely destroyed.
And that brings us to our final step. Section 6, measuring success beyond clicks, because we desperately need new metrics for a new era.
Think about it. How do you actually prove your SEO strategy is working to your stakeholders when your traditional traffic graph is flatlining? Well, if you log into Google Search Console right now, this is the exact new reality you're probably seeing. Your impressions are likely skyrocketing, but your clicks, they are dropping significantly. But what this actually reveals is that your content is absolutely being seen, and it's absolutely being used to answer questions. People just aren't always clicking through to visit the page.
Because of this, we've got to start looking at new indicators. We should be measuring answer inclusion rate. Basically, how often is your brand actually referenced in an AI response? Look at your SERP feature share for the keywords you care about. Watch your branded search volume grow over time as people start recognizing you as the go-to authority. And, this is absolutely crucial, track assisted conversions using GA4 and your CRM data. Seriously, loop your sales team in. Buyers, especially in the B2B space, are doing quiet research using AI tools. You need sales to ask prospects, hey, did you find us through ChatGPT or an AI overview, long before they ever filled out a contact form.
So, what's the big takeaway for your next reporting meeting? It is officially time to stop leading with site-wide click totals. Separate out your top-of-funnel informational content, which honestly rarely converts on the first touch anyway, from the commercial and service pages that actually drive your revenue. When you do that, you quickly realize that earning one highly qualified lead is infinitely better for the business than agonizing over a raw percentage drop in total clicks.
Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought as we wrap up this explainer. I want you to take a hard look at your strategy today and ask yourself, are you optimizing for clicks or are you optimizing for answers? I challenge you to take what you've learned here, organize your keywords by the actual job they do for your business, and fundamentally rethink your digital approach. That is how you win in a zero-click world. Thanks so much for learning with us.